Hi everybody, my name is John Ugulu and I am absolutely excited to be speaking to you today. I really don't know what you know about yourself, and I also don't know what you think people know about you. But one thing I know for sure about you is that you are destined for greatness. Today I want to talk to you about taking charge. It sounds cliche, right? Yes. But everything in life is a cliche. But it is whenever that cliche resonates with your circumstance that matters. So I want you to listen and listen with an open heart. Because you know why? Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Now, I believe you have been asking yourself questions. You have been wondering why you have not had the opportunity that others have had. But my mentor, Les Brown, would say, if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. If you do what is easy, your life will be hard. It's quite easy to blame other people for our mistakes, right? It's easy to procrastinate. We all know that. It's easy to have things done within our comfort zone. Yes, that's why if you choose what is easy, your life will be hard. And if you choose what is hard, your life will be easy. It is difficult to stick with your goals. It is difficult to write down your visions, your dreams. And these are some of the things that prevent you from being able to take charge of your destiny. I want you to know that you can achieve whatever you set your mind towards. All it takes is for you to apply the natural principles. Every great invention in life was once an idea. Someone sent me a pen, and I was going through this pen. I saw this top and I was wondering what's going on in here. But little did I know that the manufacturer of this pen had an idea of putting a bottle of hand sanitizer. Can you see this? This is a bottle of hand sanitizer and this is a pen. It looks really great, right? But I want you to know that it was once an idea. If the person who invented this pen procrastinated, this wouldn't have been possible today. And so that's how our dreams and visions come to us. It is always a thought process. It is always an idea at the beginning. Are you wondering why you have been talking yourself out of so many great ideas? Because you felt those ideas were way beyond your league. But trust me, it is not. Whatever the mind thinks, whatever the mind conceives can be manifested. It can be achieved. In fact, you don't need to know the how. You should just have an idea. You don't need to know how to execute it. All you need is the idea. There are so many people out there who have the ideas if you don't have it. And Richard Branson said, if your dreams don't scare you, then they are too small. So you should be able to think deeply and ask yourself, what have I been doing wrongly? That's a great question you need to think about. But today I want to teach you how to use the principle of 4 L's to take charge. 4 L's. That's a principle that was taught by Stephen Covey. He is an author. He's the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The 4 L's represent, the first L is to live. That's to live your life. The second L represents love. The third L represents learn. And the fourth L represents legacy. If you apply these 4 basic principles to your life, it will be so easy for you to relax and put your dreams and visions on the road. So I will break it down and start with the first L, which is to live. Do you spend more time on your job, or do you spend more time on yourself, on your work? Do you want me to ask this question again? Do you spend more time on your job, or do you spend more time working on yourself? Here's the news for you. Your job only provides income, but your work provides a fortune. So you should learn to live life in such a way that there is a balance. So you should always ask yourself these basic questions. The first question is, what makes life worth living? We understand your job pays the bills, but should you make your job take all your time? No, you could get fired. That's the reality. So you should learn to live life by striking a balance. Then when you know what makes life worth living for you, that will take you to the next question. What is missing? What is missing? Do you take vacations? I know of a friend of mine who works like crazy and he hardly takes vacation. He likes to keep everything. His paid time off, he likes to keep it till the end of the year so that he can really travel out. But you don't do things like that because you are working for an organization. It is not yours. You could be fired. Spending so much time on your job could prevent you from spending time with your family. Vacation time is paramount. Hanging out with friends is also very important because you need to decongest your brain sometimes. So when you ask yourself those questions, then you will be able to know whether you have been living life the way you ought to have been living the life. So the first L is to live life. Live your life to the fullest. Enjoy your life. Then that takes us to the next L, which is to love. That's another very important principle. For you to be able to take charge of your life, you should understand what that term love means. At times it could be difficult because of the challenges, because of the workload, because of the environment, because of the things that typically happens to us on a daily basis, the stress. Because if you do not have love within you, if you do not love yourself, there is no way you can give out love. That's how it is. It is simple. So you must learn to love yourself. It is easy to say, but it is a difficult task. Remember, if you do what is hard, your life will be easy. So you must learn to love yourself so that you can have an overflow to give others. That's the golden rule. Love your neighbor as yourself. I want you to think about that. And now this takes us to the third L, which is to learn. I was in high school when my mom used to tell me that learning broadens your horizon. And it's true. Learning is the reason why you would always ask the question, why? You should learn to always ask questions. Most of the things you know as an adult were taught. You were taught most of those things. But have you done your own research to know if what you learned while you were growing up were all correct? You must learn to unlearn and relearn. These are basic principles. As an adult, you must unlearn to relearn, because most of the things that you knew while growing up were things that you were taught by people who you were not even sure of their IQs. So you must learn. It broadens your horizon. I was watching on my phone today. Some group of women brought like a bunch of live rats, and they put all the rats together. It was a lot of rats. And I was wondering, because they tied all together in bundles, probably about 10, and little ones. They put them together, and there were a lot of them. I was worried and wondering what's going on. I thought they were breeding rats, but later on, I saw them sharing these rats, like separating them into groups. Do you believe that some of those rats were grilled? Some of those rats were fried with oil, and some of those rats were boiled. But at the end of the day, when they finished preparing these rats, they looked so juicy, they looked so good, so yummy. You know, initially I was cringing because I grew up knowing that rats are not meant to be eaten. They're not meant to be eaten. But little did I know that some people relied so much on that delicacy. So that's the importance of learning. You not being able to eat rat doesn't make you a better person than that person who eats rat. I want you to think about it. So we must constantly learn. You must travel, go places, read books, self-help books, books that would help you broaden your horizon. Because there are so many secrets in books. You must have a mentor. You must see somebody, you must look for somebody who does what you like and emulate that person. Copy that person. Even if the person is no more, if the person is no longer alive, you can buy the books written by that person. That way, you will be able to see life from a different perspective. And I want to talk about the last L, which is typically very interesting for me. And that last L is legacy. When I was growing up, my dad left a lot of real estate. A lot of them, like fully paid. And those properties today, I hardly go there. Because you cannot sleep in 2 rooms at the same time. No. It has to be 1 by 1. If you sleep in a room today or sleep in a room for a while, then you can move to another one. But you cannot sleep in multiple rooms at the same time. So we were of the mindset that legacy had to do with only living properties, material things, money for your next of kin. But when I started developing myself, I came to realize that legacy is not necessarily what you leave behind for people, but what you leave behind in people. Les Brown would say, live full and die empty. Live a life that would outlive you. Properties will not outlive you. Properties will dilapidate. If your next of kin doesn't know about financial literacy, the billions of dollars you would leave for that next of kin might not be used properly. Dr. Miles Monroe, may his soul rest in peace, said, the cemetery is the richest place in the world. Do you know why? Because a lot of people die with potentials in them. So the cemetery is so rich that it has so many potentials buried inside the soil. You don't want to be like that person who died with potentials. So in order for you to take charge of your life and your destiny, whatever you do, always remember that legacy is what you leave behind in people. That book you were supposed to write, this is the time for you to write that book. Because that book would outlive you. Generations to come would read your book. That movie, that musical video, that song you were supposed to drop, you should do that. That invention that you once thought about, this is the time for you to reassess and understand what legacy means. Potentials. Every human being has potentials in them. You've got greatness in you. You were sent to this world for a reason. Research has proved it that it takes millions of sperms to swim towards an ovary. But out of those millions of sperms, only one sperm is required to fertilize that egg. And that sperm that fertilized the ovary is you. Out of millions, you were the chosen one. It means you are special. It means you've got greatness in you. It means you've got potentials in you. Every human being was created with potentials in them. So when you are thinking about leaving a legacy, you should think about using those potentials. Because if you do not harness those potentials, you are robbing generations. You are robbing generations of what they ought to have learned. It is your duty. And that is why I have been mandated by the universe to tell you today that you are destined for greatness. For you to take charge of your life, all you need is to apply these 4 L's in your life. It could be difficult at times, but it is the way to go. I want you to think about this. I want you to ask yourself, is the life worth living? Yes, it is. That's why you're here. Do you realize that a lot of people went to bed last night having plans for today? But unfortunately, they couldn't see daylight. They transitioned. They passed. But you and I are alive. You are listening to me right now because you have life in you. You have the best gift in the world. It is never too late for you to take charge of your destiny. It is never too late.